taller I become, the farther you take my rights away, the faster I will run. You can deny me, you can decide to turn your face away. No matter, 'cause there's something inside so strong. I know that I can make it, though you're doing me wrong, so wrong.
G-O-O-G-E-V-E-N-I-N-G. Good evening. Good evening. G-O-O-G-E-V-E-N-I-N-G. Good evening. 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 Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Andy Hobenicht with TIAA and also a member of the Freedom School Partners Board. This year has been a year of adaptation, certainly among many other things. I have the distinct honor to welcome you to this year's Freedom School program, now coined Fall for Literacy, which is an adapted version, as you might imagine. I first want to give some massive recognition to the Freedom School Partners team for all of the hard work they did this year to serve our scholars, our students in the community, their families, and the communities themselves, along with organizing this wonderful event under unprecedented amounts of adversity, as I'm sure you all have felt in your own personal and professional worlds. I'm so proud to be affiliated with Freedom School, particularly given their mission and their purpose. And on behalf of TIAA, this year's presenting sponsor, I want to also share the company's pride to be here tonight with you. TIAA's 102-year history and heritage is rooted in ensuring that educators achieve lifetime financial well-being. Supporting organizations like Freedom School Partners is a natural extension of our mission and our purpose and our heritage. I hope that you and your organizations tonight will also help and give and contribute to Freedom School's own cause, as it is so important for our community. Thank you very much for being here, and have a wonderful evening.
Good evening. My name is Kevin Wright, and I'm the Vice Chair of Freedom School Partners Board of Directors and a former servant leader intern. I will be your MC for this evening's Fall for Literacy event. On behalf of the Freedom School Partners Board and staff, thank you all for joining us this evening. We are excited to share that roughly 200 people have RSVP'd for tonight's event. We're grateful for such an amazing group of change makers and literacy advocates. Before we get too far into the program, I'd like to make a couple of housekeeping comments. First, like with many things nowadays, our event format has undergone a few changes. While we're grateful that we've been able to shift to a virtual event, we also acknowledge the risk of technical difficulties. That said, we ask for a little grace as we journey through tonight's events. If internet connections are interrupted or if videos seem out of sync at times, that's okay. We promise to remain engaged, lighthearted, and impact focused. Secondly, how about those amazing goodie boxes that many of you received prior to today's event? Each box should include the following contents: a seated Freedom School Partners bookmark, more on that later, a Freedom School Partners bag, tonight's event program, a medley of sweet and savory treats, and most importantly, Prosecco. We ask that you enjoy these refreshments during the program. I would be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to the hardest working host committee in Charlotte. Marty Williams, Pat Kroll, and Wendy Stockton, thank you for your tireless efforts helping to pull this event together. This evening, it'll be our pleasure to share the following: how Freedom School Partners has remained committed to scholars and families despite the pandemic, our plans for the future, and an ask for your support in helping to eliminate summer learning loss. Our goal this evening is to raise $150,000. We are pleased to share that tonight, the Leon Levine Foundation will match $25,000 in the form of a dollar-for-dollar match for any new or lapsed donations received, plus the increased portion of any existing donor's gift. We are thankful to the foundation for serving as a partner in helping to eliminate summer learning loss. As of now, we've raised about $113,000, but let's call this a solid warm-up. We have a lot of time remaining to make an even bigger impact this evening. But before I get too carried away, I would like to introduce the newest member of the Freedom School Partners team, Glenda Bernhardt. Glenda assumed the role of Freedom School Partners CEO in January and has been riding the wave ever since. Glenda's full bio can be found on the Freedom School Partners website at freedomschoolpartners.org.
Good evening. It is my pleasure to address you tonight as Freedom School Partners' new Chief Executive Officer. When I first learned about the opportunity to succeed Mary Nell McPherson as the next leader of this incredible organization, I knew that following a beloved organizational founder who successfully built and grew a nonprofit would be challenging. But I also knew that Freedom School Partners was exactly what I was looking for professionally and personally. I was drawn to this role because I'm passionate about social justice and action. I am driven by a strong connection to my Jewish faith and the Jewish values of Sept, justice, Tikkun Olam, repairing the world, and Gemilut Chasadim, acts of loving kindness. And I love working with youth. I believe that all children deserve to have access to the academic, social, and emotional tools they need to become thriving adults. And I'm passionate about ensuring that every child can experience high quality, equitable summer learning and enrichment activities. Freedom School Partners pursues justice every day by working to eliminate summer learning loss. But more importantly, Freedom School instills in children that they can and will be all they're meant to be, despite the difficult obstacles they face. Now that I'm 8 months in, I can confidently say that I'm exactly where I want and need to be, although I had no idea what kind of adventure I'd be in for. 2020 is a year that none of us will forget. As the new leader of a nonprofit whose work is focused around in-person summer programming, it has been a steep hill to climb, but the view is totally worth it. I could not be prouder of Freedom School Partners' year-round professional team, our seasonal staff, our board, our site partners, or our volunteers. I feel so lucky to be leading a team that was able to pull together this spring and completely reimagine what our summer program could look like in order to align with the evolving health and safety realities of COVID-19, while being responsive to the impact of this most challenging year on the scholars and families we serve. In a matter of weeks, our team worked through a variety of scenarios and ultimately developed a new program model to maximize the ways we could support our scholars this summer. This model, deemed FSP 2020 Response, worked around the fact that indoor spaces and transportation were not available to us, and worked through how we could fulfill our mission to prevent summer learning loss and address the holistic needs of vulnerable children. This short video will tell you a little more about the response program and how we worked with our site partners, enrichment partners, and volunteers to make it happen.
The COVID-19 pandemic interrupted the school year for our scholars and disrupted academic instruction. During summer of 2020, FSP developed a program to ensure that much-needed educational and basic resources went directly to families. The FSB 2020 Response, Reading and Enrichment for Scholars plus Other Needed Supplies and Essentials program occurred via pop-up sites at 12 locations throughout the community and was supplemented by a virtual component.
Then in particular, this summer with our kind of flexibility with our new response sites, I really appreciate being able to get out. I really liked how we are able to be accessible and in the communities with the scholars that we serve.
Fun Fridays offered an in-person opportunity for scholars and parents to engage in enrichment activities and read-alouds with community partners and volunteers.
My favorite part about Fun Fridays is actually seeing the kids come in and do activities and, collect snacks and incentives and just get to see them face to face.
Freedom Schools serve families who most need yet can least afford quality summer enrichment experiences for their children.
They couldn't wait to pull into the parking lot. They heard the drumming from the street and they just automatically cheered up. And my son, all he talks about is Freedom School. He does the chants year round. Every time he hears a song that's similar to it, he does it. He is enamored with just reading and being around other children that love to read.
The word partners is an intentional part of the name Freedom School Partners. FSP partners include faith-based organizations, Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools, corporations, and others who provide space, resources, and volunteers to help make summer programming happen.
That really is necessary for this year to work. We can't just do our thing in a school and close the door. We need help from church. We need help from volunteers. We need help from different parts of the FSB staff. So especially with Fun Friday, where we have our community partners here with us, it feels like every different corner of Charlotte's come together to make sure that kids are getting everything that they can.
This summer, from May to August, 125 volunteers logged approximately 700 volunteer hours during FSP Response.
I love being able to engage our Christchurch volunteers and youth in participation at Freedom School. Just the opportunity to work with the scholars who are so precious and eager to learn, and to work alongside student leader interns and site coordinators. It really makes Charlotte feel like a smaller city.
6,000 literacy and enrichment kits were distributed through FSB Response this summer, and we served approximately 1,200 scholars per week. Visit freedomschoolpartners.org/donate to help prevent summer learning loss.
As you can see, we have so much to be proud of as we reflect on this unique program year. In addition to distributing more than 6,000 academic enrichment activity packets and engaging with around 1,200 scholars each week, both on-site and through virtual learning opportunities, we also handed out 13,000 books to help children build home libraries, and we distributed 1,800 weekend nutrition bags. We also have much to be thankful for, and one of these things is you. Without the continued support of our individual, corporate, and foundation donors, and our faith and nonprofit community partners, we would not be able to do this work. As I think about and look to the future, to the next chapter for Freedom School Partners, I am filled with hope. I hope we will be able to deepen and strengthen the relationships we have with our faith partners and corporate and foundation funders, so we can continue to make a difference in the lives of the scholars and families we serve. The Freedom School Partners model works because of your generous contributions through operational support, mission and outreach grants, allocation of classroom and enrichment spaces, and the time and talent of dedicated volunteers. I hope to work with our board of directors to implement strategic decisions to secure Freedom School Partners' long-term financial stability and enable opportunities for growth. I hope we will be able to build upon the relationships we have formed with Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools and other nonprofit organizations that are committed to preventing summer learning loss and providing all children with access to the tools and resources they need to thrive and achieve their dreams. I look forward to working together with Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools and our nonprofit partners to coordinate, cooperate, and collaborate so we can strengthen and expand the network of support for vulnerable children and families in our community, and ultimately serve more children and serve them better. One of the ways we will look to serve our scholars better is by affirming and expanding our commitment to social justice and racial equity. We will continue to actively participate in the fight against systemic racism, oppression, and injustice, and we will use our organizational voice to advance efforts to ensure that all children feel safe and valued in our society. We know our scholars have something inside so strong, and if we want to continue to amplify their beautiful voices and enable their bright lights to shine, we must advocate for and demand change. Finally, I hope you will continue to walk along with us as we determine how we can best serve our scholars and their families in the coming years. Together, we have the opportunity to cultivate and develop the leaders of tomorrow and ensure they have the skills and strengths to make a difference in their lives, in their families, in their communities, in their country, and in their world. We are passionate about this work, and now, more than ever, we need your support, and we cannot do this without you. Thank you for trusting me to lead this organization into the future, and thank you for entrusting Freedom School Partners with your gifts so we can create change and ensure the long-term success of children.
Thank you, Glenda. We truly appreciate your vision and leadership. If you joined us late, I shared earlier that we are seeking to raise $150,000 this evening. As of now, we are just over $115,000. So $35,000 roughly to go. Thank you to everyone who has already given. And if you've yet to give, there's still plenty of time to help support the Freedom School mission this evening. Next, we will hear reflections from 5 bright young people who are near and dear to the Freedom School Partners' heart. Gustavo Flores, Shania Stowe, Xavier Herring, Angel Medina, and Christian Reed are former scholars and current high school students who work at various Freedom School sites during the summer to assist servant leader interns. They are affectionately known as junior servant leader interns. They also participate in the Freedom School Partners Scholar Academy, which is a year-round program for high school students that focuses on leadership development.
My name's Gustavo. This is my 3rd year with Freedom School, and I'm a junior servant leader intern. Well, the most rewarding part for me is seeing smiles on the kids' faces after they receive activities and books and have something to do at home. I learned that working and assisting the community is something I'm passionate about.
Hi, I'm Shania. Seeing smiles on kids' faces when they come to get materials. I guess to be like innovative and like try new things from stuff that we already have to like make something new in a time where you have to.
Hello, I'm Xavier Herring. I'm a JSL at Site 3. My grandma put me in the program in 2014. Being able to work with the people at Site 3, we had a lot of fun and we're able to communicate very well. It's helped sharpen my communication skills and has helped me adapt on the fly. It helps sharpen your mind and let you explore new worlds.
Hi, I'm Angel Medina. I'm in the 11th grade. I go to Charlotte Secondary School. I'm a JSL here at Freedom School. It showed me that sometimes life is different and it doesn't go the way it's planned. Because reading can open up doors. It helps you become smarter, and it's just fun. I learned that I have people who care about me. That working hard can get you somewhere, and just to have fun.
Good evening. My name is Christian Reed. I'm a 12th grader at Philip Berry Academy in Technology. I've had the opportunity to be a junior servant leader for about 2 years at High Renaissance Academy. As a child, I was always taking risks and asking questions, whether it's for the right or wrong reasons, so that made me a little inquisitive. I'm very much a risk taker, and when I take risks, it normally is just to understand what's going on around me. My friends and family would probably say I'm considered a know-it-all and I talk too much. But that's only because I feel like I have a vast knowledge of lots of different topics and I have a lot of different ideas. As a scholar, I would normally be the teacher's favorite or the one who would get other kids calm down if the day wasn't going the right way, etc. As a JSL, I was like that as well. The interns liked me and the kids loved me. I helped out with Cheers and Chants, and I was able to help out with the interns if they needed anything at any time. One of my favorite moments as a JSL was meeting this young child named London. She was my favorite kid like ever. Like I loved her. She was very unique. She had a smile on her face all the time, and she always did her work on time. She put a smile on my face all the time. These experiences affected me in great ways. I was able to learn from others and see the business side of Freedom School, and that worked out for the betterment of myself. I'm very much a homebody, but I don't mind getting up and going out with my friends and my family. I'm very much a student athlete, the student part coming first no matter what. I plan on attending college for a degree in sports medicine. When I grow up, I plan on either attending any university, but mainly for athletic training or sports analysis, depending on my future decisions. And hopefully that can work out for the betterment of myself.
Hi, my name is Wendy Stockton, and I am honored to serve on the board of Freedom School, which has given me a unique perspective on the vital role Freedom School plays in our community. We just heard from 5 JSLs who told us about the positive impact working with Freedom School has had on them. They said, I learned there are people who care about me. Love that one. I learned that I can be innovative and try new things. I learned that I'm passionate about our community. The kids loved me, and I loved seeing their smiling faces. During these difficult times, it's more important than ever that we come together to support those in our community. And I'm going to turn it over to my fellow board member, Burnett Tucker, to provide more details as to the ways you can continue to support the really important work of Freedom School Partners.
Thanks so much, Wendy. So now we are asking one more time for your financial support to enable Freedom School to continue the great work on behalf of our scholars and our families. We want to make sure that we take full advantage of the Levine Foundation match. As a reminder, Levine will match dollar for dollar up to $25,000 for any new or lapsed donations received, plus any increased portion of any existing donor's gift. And if you've already given, a huge thank you for your generosity and support. And if you haven't, please consider a donation. I'm going to give you a minute to grab your phone and your credit card and remind you of the multiple ways that you can give. Just click on the donate button at the top right of your screen, or open your camera on your phone and hold it over the QR code on the screen or on the QR code on your printed program, or text the number on the screen. It's really easy. As you consider your gift, please enjoy this brief video from 2019 that highlights the magic of a Freedom School summer. Thank you so much.
Virtually all of the advantage that wealthy students have over poor students is the result of differences in the way privileged kids learn while they are not in school. And part of what Freedom School does is helps level the playing field.
A lot of scholars come from different backgrounds, so we never know exactly what they're dealing with. The greeting, good morning, is saying, hey, you know what? Get rid of what happened. We're starting off fresh.
We focus on the needs of the scholars, not only academically through the reading curriculum, but also socially and emotionally. There's a lot of development that occurs through the 6 weeks.
Whenever you learn, you actually get to have fun. Like, it's the best place to be.
Harambe, it just starts the day with positive energy. That's what gets me going.
We get to dance and express all our feelings.
The visiting reader, they are community leaders, they are school teachers, they are counselors, they are people in the community who normally scholars would not see.
It's great!
I like the fact that they still incorporate education along with having fun.
We know that they experience what is called that summer drought, where if they're not actively engaged in reading for those 2 months that they're out of school, that they can take a major dip in their academics. And that is what Freedom Schools is trying to prevent.
All right, my beautiful people, go ahead and turn into page 1 of your book. Remember, if you have a part.
Freedom Schools uses the integrated reading curriculum. It's important for children to read books who have characters and protagonists that reflect their lives, their communities, where they came from.
My favorite part of Freedom School is IRC because you get to read like things that you don't even know about, but you need to know about so you can get smarter before you go to a next grade level.
Every week we have a new book, but if I come in and I'm like, we're reading this really cool book this week, it's awesome, it's gonna be great, it has all these cool things in it, they're gonna be like, yeah, I wanna read that book. I want them to understand that reading is a way to transport you into another world and really get a bigger picture of what's actually going on around us and how we can help ourselves.
When the timer goes off for dead time, we drop everything and go get a book. We read books individually, silently, and we go find a spot where we feel comfortable and we just read as many books as we can.
My attitude towards book has changed because now it's like I'm stepping up to bigger books than I thought I could read.
In the morning program, the scholars focus on literacy, but in the afternoon, it should be a time, in my opinion, when they have the regular camp activities that we would want our own children to have. We don't know who the next Picasso or Einstein is, and unless you expose children to that at a young age, you won't know.
I used to be in Freedom School, and it kept me out of trouble. I was a scholar that became a student leader because I saw what it did for me. One of my biggest goals was to broaden their vocabulary. I'll be saying something, and I'm like, oh, that's and they'll use a vocabulary word that I gave them a week ago. I'm like, yeah.
I used to stutter a lot, and Freedom Schools has helped me not to stutter. And now when I'm reading a book, I could go straight for it throughout the sentence.
So with her building her confidence now, where she's able to just go and read through and not have to, stutter through anything, which is great, that builds up her confidence. So she feels good enough,
At Freedom School, we say we believe in children, so children will believe in themselves.
I started Freedom School 2004 as an intern. I was hooked, and I was back again the next summer, and then the next summer we were playing college football at Davidson College. I was like, you should give Freedom School a try.
Together we've been tag teaming and really kind of instill in the base of the Freedom School donors, volunteers, etc., some youth. And, ideally it's a pathway to the future.
Freedom School Partners started in 2004 and with one site with 50 scholars. And this year we're serving 1,200 scholars at 18 locations. We have some partners that bring space, financial resources, volunteers, and all of these things come together to create a unique and wonderful experience for scholars.
To me, it's the best education-related ministry that we're involved in as a church. And all of our members who participate in it is transformative for them. It opens their consciousness and changes the way that they think about ministry in the city. And so I would encourage every church to consider Freedom School.
By donating $1,500, you change a child's life. A scholar is able to experience the education, the afternoon fun, and experiencing all that Charlotte has to offer. You can make a difference.
It matters to me deeply that this community cares about children and is willing to invest for our collective future. And if at Freedom School Partners we brought more people into the work, if we created a network of people who said, we will make sure that children have what they need to succeed, then we will have done our job.
Every day when I leave Freedom School, I take home a bunch of positivity and happiness.
I really liked when you were teaching us, and I'm going to miss you very much.
I look forward to this every summer because people here are so caring and loving. Freedom School brings out the best in us.
It brings out the best in us so we can bring the best out in other people. So by doing that, you start a chain reaction for not only the United States, but also the whole world.
Earlier, I mentioned the seeded bookmark in your goodie box. One non-financial ask that we have for you all is to tear off the seed portion and plant seeds of hope. While we work on my video, we would love it if you could continue to give, because we are roughly $20,000 away from our goal. I would love nothing more than my video to work and for us to be at 150 grand. All right, since I'm experiencing technical difficulties, I think we're gonna kick it over to Glenda Bernhardt, who will close the program out.
Good evening, everyone. I can't see me, but I'm hearing that hopefully you can. So I want to take a moment to thank you all for joining us this evening and for your generous support of Freedom School Partners. Kevin was about to share with you about the bookmark that you received with your goodie bag that includes seeds that you can plant. These are seeds for hope, hope for our scholars, hope for the future, hope for Freedom School Partners. And of course, true to form, it's also a bookmark that you can reuse over and over as you think about how books improve the lives of the scholars we serve. I do want to share with you that as of now, or as of a moment ago, we were just under $135,000 raised this evening. So I want to give a tremendous thanks to all of you for your support of Freedom School and support of our scholars. I am going to ask everyone who's with us tonight to turn on their cameras. So hopefully you will see other faces besides mine. And we are going to make a quick toast. This is a toast to you for your support this evening. This is a toast to our scholars. And this is a toast to hope. Hope that together we will continue to support our scholars for the next week or so. We're going to leave the campaign open in the hope that we will reach our goal. Even since I began talking, you guys are being so generous, and we continue to see us get even closer to that goal. We're at $137,586. So thank you. Let's keep it going. Let's toast to all of you and to Freedom School's future. Thank you so much for being with us. Have a great evening.
Gonna do it